Okay, so I'm a few days late doing my wrap up this month, but oh well. I have my pile here of my February reads. I did not too bad this month, not too shabby. I think I did a review on four of these. I'm currently editing my review for. The Sun is also a star, so I did a review for 4 of these, so what does that tell you? I like to do them in chronological order. So I started February with Karen Slaughter's Pieces of Her. I will read the back to you for all of these books. I always feel like that's just better than me trying to summarise the book, because if I try to summarise the book, it'll probably take me about half an hour and I end up just revealing the entire plot. So I like to just read the back of the books to summarise, so you can kind of make up your own mind and see what you think. I'll kind of talk about them a little bit though. So, a terrifying act of violence. It takes a split second for your life to change forever, and for Andrea Oliver, that split second is a mass shooting in her local mall. A woman whose life is built on a lie. But this shocking act is only the start, because then, as the bodies fall around them, Andy's mother Laura takes a step forward into the line of fire. Hours later, Laura's in hospital, her face splashed over the newspapers. But the danger has only just begun. Now Andy must embark on a desperate race against time to uncover the secrets of her mother's past before any more blood is shed. I really enjoyed this book. I read another book by Karen Slaughter called The Good Daughter, and I really enjoyed it. I read it last summer. I thought it was really good. So I'm excited to read more about her. She seems to have wrote quite a lot of books. I did enjoy this. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as The Good Daughter. It jumps back and forward from present day to a date in the past, and to begin with I was actually quite confused. I don't normally get confused between time hops, time jumps, but I really didn't understand, or I was trying to understand what was happening in the chapters that were based in the past. I was struggling with them a little bit, but I knew that I just had to go with it and eventually everything would make sense at the end. And it did. Of course, everything did all get explained in the end, so I wasn't left in the dark for too long. I think it just takes you a little bit of time because you're reading stuff and you're kind of thinking to yourself wait, what's happening? I don't understand. So that took a little while to get used to, but I actually ended up enjoying the chapters from the past more than I did the present. I don't know why. I think I loved the character that was from the past. I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but I loved the character that was narrating the past chapters, and I did like the main character that was narrating the present. Her name is Andrea. It was good. I definitely enjoyed it. Stuff happens and Andy's mother sends her to go on the run, basically not on the run but to disappear for a bit, and she gives her instructions of what to do and where to go, and along the way Andy basically feels like, who is her mother? What kind of double life has her mother been leading? And honestly, I was enjoying it so much. I love when a character, just your regular degular middle-aged woman, or even just your friend or whatever, suddenly reveals themselves to have not a secret life, but they're an expert in these sort of situations, and they have plans and backup plans in place for in case things go south. I loved it. I loved that. And the mystery aspect was pretty good. I can't remember what I gave this. Possibly a 5-star? Maybe I only gave it 4. I can't remember for any of these what I gave them. I really can't remember what I gave this book in the end. Probably 4 or 5. Maybe 5. But I just can't remember. So that was the first book I read in February, and I think I read it relatively quickly. It's a bit of a chunky book. I think it's my biggest here, but it's not huge. I think it had about 500 pages. 500 pages. But I really enjoyed it. Maybe my favourite read of February. Next, after that, I read Elizabeth is Missing. I actually read this book in a day. It's not long. I picked it up in a charity shop for £1. It really didn't take me that long to read it. I read it in a day. I filmed myself reading it. I'll link that reading vlog down below. I also did a book review on this, so I will leave the link for that as well down below. As I say, I did reviews for most of these, so all the links will be down below. I really enjoyed this book. It is about a elderly lady who is forgetful. I don't know if she has dementia or Alzheimer's. She suffers from memory loss. So I'll read the back to you. Maud is forgetful. She makes a cup of tea and doesn't remember to drink it. She goes to the shops and forgets why she went. Sometimes her home is unrecognisable, or her daughter Helen seems a total stranger. But there's one thing Maud is sure of. Her friend Elizabeth is missing. The note in her pocket tells her so. And no matter who tells her to stop going on about it, to leave it alone, to shut up, Maud will get to the bottom of it. Because somewhere in Maud's damaged mind lies the answer to an unsolved 70-year-old mystery, one everyone else has forgotten about. Everyone except Maud. I recently saw that the BBC did a drama for this, and it kind of made me remember that this book existed, so I was like, I really want to read this book, so then I'm going to go and watch the drama. I haven't even watched the drama yet, but I actually really enjoyed this book a lot. There were times where maybe I did get a little bit frustrated that it is a bit of a mystery and your main character, she's not your normal detective or somebody that's trying to solve a crime. She's different because she can't remember things, she has conversations, or she has things she wants to ask people, she forgets to ask them. So it's a bit of a jumble for her, so that's probably why the mystery, it's quite clever, I think, in a way, because the mystery can last the whole book, whereas if it was any other character, it would be over in like after a conversation. But I actually thought it was very clever, also very insightful to how it must be like living with memory problems, whether it's dementia or Alzheimer's. I'd never read a book from the perspective of like an older woman before. It was sad at times, it was quite sad. No one ever wants to see their family members going through that. I sympathised with the other characters who were getting a bit frustrated with Maud, but then you were also on Maud's side, so you felt bad when people didn't have patience for her. Overall though, it was a very good book. I think I gave it 5 stars. I can't remember, 5 or 4. Most of these, no, that's a lie. I was going to say most of these books I gave that. That's a lie. But I think I maybe gave it 4, maybe 5 stars. I did a book review on it, so I will link that down below. But a very good read. Quite a short read. I read it in a day. It didn't take that long, but it was good. I really enjoyed it. And the story broke my heart a wee bit. Next we have Hidden Bodies. The very much not anticipated sequel to You. And my god, I had read reviews online about this book that said it was lacking from what the original You excelled in, or what made it great, that it was just garbage, basically, that it was garbage. But I picked this up in a charity shop for £1, so I was happy with that. But You. Oh, Hidden Bodies. I loved You. I have not seen the entire of the first series. I talked about most of this in my review that I did for this, but oh dear god, it was worse. It was worse than I thought it ever could be. And I just, Joe Goldberg came to Los Angeles to start over, to forget what happened in New York. But then he met her. She doesn't know about his past and never can. The problem is, hidden bodies don't always stay that way. The line between love and murder, desire and obsession can be a narrow one. I think I gave this book 2 stars. I think. I do like the author's writing style, and she's pretty good at writing a book. I'll tell her that. I will give her credit for that. Her characters were okay. They were okay. Joe, I didn't like Joe as much in this book as I did in You. I felt like in You, he was like a psychopath, but he was a lovable psychopath. Every action that he did, he justified in a way that I accepted it. I was like, yes, Joe, you need to kill that person. You need to get rid of that person. Whereas in this book, everything he did, I was like, what are you doing, Joe? What are you actually doing? He was sloppy. He did things impulsively without thinking things through, thinking of the consequences. And to be perfectly honest, he should have been caught by the police a long time ago. A long time ago. I'm just saying. I gave this a 2 star. I'm probably going to watch the TV series because I was comparing My friend has watched the TV series, whereas I had only read the books, and I've only watched like the first 4 or 5 episodes of the first series, and we were both comparing season 2 with the second book, and I was telling my friend things that were happening, and she was like, that didn't happen in the show, that didn't happen. No wonder they changed it. No wonder. This book gave me grief. This book gave me so much grief. I hated it. I loved and hated it. I read it relatively quickly. I think as well what I missed was that the first book was wrote in second person, and this time it's not. Like before, it was Joe talking to Beck, his love interest, and you know, he would write things and he'd be talking to you, he was talking to you, he was talking to her, and it was quite nice. It was a change, it was refreshing, whereas with this book, if I could have given it a 1 star, I probably would have, but I didn't give it a 1 star because I'm kind and I'm considerate. And Caroline, still can't pronounce her second name. Katniss, I really don't know how to pronounce her second name, and I do apologise for that. But Caroline, I do love your books. I do. I love Joe. I just hate what you did to him in Hidden Bodies. Moving on to another book I didn't really like. Every Colour of You. That light is just blinding. Every Colour of You by Amelia Mandeville. I did a book review on this. I think I gave it 3 stars. I don't think I gave it 4. Did I give it 4? I don't remember. I think I gave it 3. I hope I gave it 3. I did a book review on this. I will leave that down below. What can I say? Every Colour of You. Probably the first YA book that's a lie. I was going to say the first YA book I've read in a while. I have actually read a few YA books. But YA books are not my favourite genre to read these days. But it sounded kind of interesting. I kind of want to read a bit more YA because I feel like they're the kind of books that are they're quite easy to read. You could read them in about a day or 2. I think it took me a couple of days to kind of read this. I struggled with it a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. Zoe lives every day to the full. Tristan can only see reasons to stop living. Zoe and Tristan couldn't be more different, which is precisely why, when they meet in a hospital waiting room, Zoe becomes determined to get to know Tristan better. But Tristan is struggling with a sadness no one seems to understand, least of all himself. Giving up isn't in Zoe's nature, and as the two spend more time together, it seems like Tristan might be coming around to see the world the way she does. Until one day, everything changes, and in trying to put Tristan back together, Zoe finds herself falling apart. A story to break your heart and put it back together again. Every Colour of You is the unforgettable debut novel from Amelia Mandeville. I'm not a big fan of YA and YA love stories, but the synopsis, it got me, and I only paid like £2 for this book, so worth it? Possibly. But I spoke about everything in my review, why I didn't like this book. There were a few things that bothered me. The characters, I had a lot of like mistakes in my book for some reason. Like there was a lot of grammar errors and words missing from sentences. I actually watched a video. I kind of felt a little bit bad. I decided to look up this Amelia Mandeville because her and her sister have a YouTube channel, so it said in the back of the book, and I decided to look it up and see what she was like, and she seems like a lovely girl. She actually spoke in a video and said that she was dyslexic, and I was like, good for you, writing a book. She said she was kind of worried about, I think she was worried about kind of making mistakes or whatever it was, so I felt kind of guilty. But then I thought about it and I thought, well, why should I feel guilty there was mistakes in the book? And in a way, is that really her fault? If she had an editor, that editor should have been picking up on these mistakes, because there were a few. I counted at least 5 that I remembered, and there was probably some that I overlooked. So I don't blame her for the mistakes. We all make mistakes when writing. If you're speedily typing away, I make mistakes all the damn time. All the damn time. So I don't blame that. I would blame the editor of the book. Why were you not checking up the grammar? Get the grammar police on this one. I mean, I know sometimes some things can't get overlooked. There's probably a mistake in near enough every book. However, when there's so many, it's like, who edited this? Who?
But you don't fucking know.
But apart from that, it was quite an okay story. Zoe and Tristan, their friendship. There were times it felt a little bit forced. Like, Zoe basically just inserted herself into Tristan's life, and he just kind of goes along with it. It's like he doesn't really accept it or want her there, but he just kind of lets her be there, and then he tells people that they're friends just as a way to put a label on it, and that's kind of it. The ending was good. I spoke about the ending in my review, I think. I think I did, but I put a spoiler warning up. I won't spoil it. I did like the ending. The ending was my favourite part. I would recommend it for like a YA fun novel. That's not a fun novel, actually. One of the main characters is severely depressed. Then we move on to The Sun Is Also a Star. I read this book in a day. I think I read it just the other week. I did a reading vlog for that, which I will leave down below. And I also am currently in the process. I filmed a review for it. I filmed a review and then I decided to film it again. And so now I'm currently editing. I haven't actually even started editing it, but I have done a review for this. So once it becomes available... That sounded so professional. Once it becomes available, I will leave a link down below. The story of a girl, a boy, and the universe. Natasha. I am a girl who believes in science and fact, not fate, not destiny, or dreams that will never come true. I am definitely not the kind of girl who meets a cute boy in a crowded New York City street and falls in love with him. Not when my family is 12 hours away from being deported to Jamaica. Falling in love with him won't be my story. Wouldn't you like to know? Daniel. I've always been the good son, the good student, living up to my parents' high expectations. Never the poet or the dreamer, but when I see her, I forget about all that. Something about Natasha makes me think that fate has something much more extraordinary in store for both of us. The universe. Every moment in our lives has brought us to this single moment. A million futures lie before us. Which one will come true? I like the plot. I like the characters. I actually like the fact that this was all took place in a single day. So that was nice. That was different. My only issue when I really kind of think about it is that it is basically a book about insta love. I don't know why I said it like that. It is like an insta love kind of book. The whole point is that these two people, Natasha and Daniel, meet through kind of circumstance. He claims it's everything happens for a reason. The universe is putting us together. We were meant to be. Natasha's more skeptical than that. She doesn't believe in fate, destiny, or whatever. And for the rest of the day, Daniel decides to prove to Natasha that he can make her fall in love with him by the end of the day. I'm not going to spoil what happens. There were times it was very insta-lovey. Is that a word? So that was my main kind of issue with this. Like, although I did enjoy it and I read it in a day, it takes place in a day, that's quite nice. But when you do think about it, it's a day. It's a day, alright? If you spend an entire day with someone, can you really fall in love with them? I don't know. But my review for this will be up soon. But I did enjoy it, and I enjoyed the ending, and I enjoyed all the other characters. And I liked the way that the author included other chapters about other characters, because it was nice to kind of see how all these interactions, how they affect other people. It was great. And also, I love that cover. That is beautiful. And then finally, a nice little short one to finish me off. I read The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, which was book 2. I only read this in like a day or two. They're very short. There was about 170 pages. Yeah, 170 pages. Very short. They've got like illustrations throughout that kind of take up some pages. So it really doesn't take that long to read. I probably could read one of these in a day, but I didn't. I read it in a couple of days. I read it mostly in the car when I was on my way to Edinburgh. I'll maybe include that vlog down below as well, because I was reading it in it. I read The Magician's Nephew in last month, January, and I'm working my way through this series. I don't really want to read them all at once. I'm kind of just taking them like one at a time, maybe do like one a month. I think there's 7 altogether. This is the second. You all know The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. If you haven't seen the Narnia movies, it's 4 siblings go through the wardrobe to the magical land of Narnia. I don't know why I'm not just reading the back. They open a door and enter a magical world. 4 adventurers step through a wardrobe door and into the land of Narnia, a world enslaved by the power of the White Witch. When almost all hope is lost, the return of the great lion, Aslan, signals a great change and a great sacrifice. To be perfectly honest, I knew these were like kids' books, but I was actually really surprised how little they were and how fast-paced everything was. I was shook. That end battle, that epic battle that I loved from the end of the movie, we didn't even see it. We were with Lucy and Susan, and then we went with Aslan. We rescued all the statues, or the people that didn't turn to stone, from the White Witch's castle, and then we joined the battle, and then it was over. And I was like, we didn't get to see that in the book? I hate that. That is one thing I do hate, is when like you've seen a movie first and then you've read the book, so you have these great expectations from what you've seen in the movie. For example, like end battles, and then you you read it in a book and it's just not there. That's so disappointing, but I should have realised how little this book was. I am enjoying them. The Magician's Nephew, I didn't know the story of that, but I did enjoy it a little for a kid's story. I enjoyed this one, of course, because I do love the movies. I love the original Narnia movie. I love Prince Caspian. Can't wait to read that book. I wasn't a massive fan of The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, but oh well. However, they're okay, these books. They're okay. For like a little bit of light reading. So I look forward to reading the rest of them. They're very cutesy though, aren't they? These little, look at them. Look at Aslan and Susan and Lucy. How nice. So that is everything that I read. Oh gosh. In February. That is everything that I read in February. I'm quite pleased. That's pretty good. I don't remember what I read last month, if I read 4 books or not. But that's everything I've read. So yeah. Links will be down below for all my reviews. Thank you so much for watching this little wrap up, and I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.